this book. Yes.
In 5, 5, 5, 5, 4, 4, 4, 3, 3, 3, 2, 2, 2, 2. What? What's going on? What's happening?
See, he won't rap. He will not rap. You want to go in and do these beats, you're supposed to be rapping.
I'm sorry.
God.
Sorry.
Gosh. You're the rapper, I'm the DJ.
Okay.
God, I'm the Jazzy Jeff for this whole thing, man.
I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. I thought I mixed up.
It never fails. He can't get it right. He come over here hitting his beats instead of spitting his lyric. He should spit your lyric, dude.
Okay. I'm gonna let for next time, y'all. I'm sorry. I apologize.
Anyways.
That was on me. That was on me. But Eddie starting off to a bad, we all rough. Anyway, welcome to the second annual Cipher Awards, y'all. I am your host, Marcus the King Warren.
Like
with me, as always, is my man Muff. How are you doing today, sir?
You know what I feel? We should do some. Remember how like at the beginning of an award show, like this big like ensemble that goes on. Have like remember Lionel Richie started off with yeah, Mamba Jumbo. No.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, should we have like some dancing people? No, I get it.
They just have like the big the big number at the beginning for the award show.
Like the host will out tell some jokes.
Tell some jokes. I don't know. Maybe I'm overstating. Anyway, I'm real happy because we got the Cipher Awards going on today.
Yes, sir.
Probably lost a lot of y'all with my attempt at humor, but it didn't work. But it's all good because it's all about the music at the end of the day.
At the end of the day.
And we painstakingly went through some of the best of the year. We got 4 categories we're giving out today.
Yes, sir.
It is 4. What are those 4?
Those 4 are the best major label LP.
Right.
The best indie label LP.
Right.
We're also going to do the Artist of the Year.
Artist of the Year.
We're also going to do the Track of the Year.
Track of the Year. Track of the Year. So, with that said, we probably should just go right into it.
Let's go right on into it, man. But first, let me tell everybody where they can get a hold of us. You can get a hold of us on our Gmail account. We are kitandmuff44@gmail.com. You can also hit us up on Twitter. We are kitandmuff44 on Twitter. You can also hit us up on Facebook. We are the Cipher Crew. Please be our friend. We are lonely. All right, also...
You're lonely.
That's true. And hit that like thingy. Hit that like thingy at the end of the day. We want you to subscribe to clbTV. Do us all a favor and subscribe to clbTV. I'm all dyslexic and stuff like that. But anyway, that being said. And a lot of people have been sending us a lot of stuff on our Gmail account and hit me up on Twitter and stuff like that. Thank you so much.
Right.
And keep on sending your footage, and people have been sending up their freestyles and stuff like that. I love that stuff. Keep them coming.
Please do. Please do. Okay.
All right, but anyway, let's get into it. What do you want to get into first, Mark?
Well, let's go. Let's do it because really this is an underground deal. We want to save the underground for last.
Okay.
Let's deal with the majors right about now.
Okay, let's hit up the majors. Okay. The best major album of 2011, the nominees are The Roots, Undone.
Roots Undone. Woo, great. Okay, well, let's speak on it.
Okay.
First of all. It was a concept album. We reviewed it earlier on this year. You know, I'm always a Roots fan. I thought it was a great, well done. It clocked in like in under 40 minutes, the album, so it's a very short album. So it's no filler, really. It's really it's a pretty good. You're in and you're out.
Yes, sir.
It's kind of ACD proof. You know what I'm saying? So you can go right through it. I thought it was a great album. I thought it was worthy of being nominated for the Major Record of the Year.
Yes, it sure was. Great album. They changed up their stuff a little bit. You can tell the Roots are growing up as a group and individually and everything. You know, and they're actually getting more, I don't know, more creative with their music.
Which is kind of ironic because again, I think we've spoken this beforehand a couple of times about the Roots. The Roots, in my opinion, have always pushed the envelope. You know, as far as them being a hip hop band from the very beginning. They've every album they've ever done, they've shown some type of growth, and kind of their MO is doing something radically different from the album beforehand. And this album Undone is no different. Being that it's a concept album, very good.
Okay, the next nominee is Common, The Dreamer, The Believer.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, Common's best album in years.
Definitely.
You know, produced by No ID. No ID put his ankle in it. You know, very, very good on the production side of things. We just reviewed that. There's no more that needs to be said. I mean, lyrically, it's off the chain. Musically, it's off the chain. Well put together album.
Welcome back, Common.
Welcome back, Common.
Yeah, welcome back. Sorry.
Shout out to your man who just died, though.
Yeah, word.
God, who is it? Juan Epstein.
Juan Epstein.
Shout out to Juan Epstein. Passed away recently.
And Mr. Cornelius. What the hell? Don Cornelius, what?
Don Cornelius, man. I was just telling my boy. I said, you know what, man? It's a different. I'm not gonna go there.
Well, we'll get into Don Cornelius later.
We'll go and we'll do that another time. Go ahead.
But I said, anyway,
that's what happened. He said, you think you don't get this? You think you don't get this insurance policy? I said,
bam. What the hell? But anyway, let's keep on going. Okay, next nominee for the major jokes. Label is Raekwon, Shaolin versus Wu-Tang.
You know, well put together album. Raekwon, I think aside from Ghostface, is probably the most consistent Wu member as far as his albums that he puts out.
Okay.
Shaolin versus Wu-Tang is no different. The song Rock and Roll, I think, kind of rocked the entire year last year. So shout out to Raekwon, very well put together album.
Great album. You know, I wish I could say that about Method Man too, because I was always a meth head. You know what I'm saying? I love meth.
Meth Man, it's like ever since.
I mean,
Method Man's albums, in my opinion, have progressively gotten, I hate to say worse, but each album he's put out to me has been less than a neck. I mean, okay, the album that he puts out with Redman, the last one was decent, but I mean, you know, as a solo artist, I'm just not feeling Meth. I'll be honest, and I think if Meth could get back to some hardcore, dark RZA production, he'd be back on top with it. That's
I agree.
My opinion.
Anyway, the next nominee for Album of the Year, major label, is my man J. Cole.
J. Cole, man, that's just your man. We were going to actually review the album. We didn't get around to it, but you know, a lot of people felt very, very strongly about this album. I think overall, in my opinion, as far as the major record labels are concerned, it's been kind of an off year. You know, generally speaking, that's why we only have really 5 that kind of stood out to us. And J. Cole was certainly one of those albums. There was a lot of hype going into his solo album because he's on Jay-Z's record label, and I think it had been delayed for some time, but he put together a pretty solid effort. So shout out to J. Cole. Yeah,
J. Cole put out an excellent album. The one thing I love about this guy, he's not all about, you know, I'm this, I'm that, and the other thing. He comes at you real. He's a real dude. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it's very refreshing in the major labels anyway. Yeah. So that's why I love that. I love that project.
And shout out to the verse he put in on Just Begun with Jay Electronica, Talib Kweli, you know, on the mixtape, and I think it's also on the Reflection Eternal solo album too, Just Begun, I believe it was. Correct me if I'm wrong, but his verse, he definitely held his own with Mos Def, Jay Electronica, and Talib Kweli.
Okay, all right, and last but not least, nominee for the best album of the year is Jay-Z and Kanye West. Watch That Throne, son.
Watch the Throne. Now here's the thing about that album. Great album. The only problem I have with this album is that it wasn't better than my Dark Twisted Fantasy.
Yeah, but okay.
My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy by Kanye West. You know, that's my big problem with it, because actually that album, Kanye's album, solo album, was actually better than Watch the Throne. Yeah. But that said, it's still a well put together album.
Yes.
It still rocked the summer, so there you have it.
All right. So album of the year, major. Let me find this joint right here. Let me start here. Find out who's the winner here. Let's see. The winner is Watch the Throne. Kanye West, Jay-Z, Kanye West.
Yep. Look, and it's, you know, we debated about this.
Yes.
You know, I was ready to give it to the Roots. But I got to give respect to Watch the Throne. It kind of rocked the summer. Had some really good cuts on it. It is well produced. Maybe it could have been a little bit more consistent, but at the end of the day, I had to give it to Watch the Throne over the Roots, because the Roots really didn't have enough product for me on it. Even though it was kind of ACD proof, as I mentioned beforehand, I still thought those dudes, you know, did what they had to do in the album. Although maybe I was slightly disappointed based on what it could have been and comparing it to my Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. But that said, Watch the Throne does get the major record label album of the year.
Yes, sir.
There you have it.
Okay.
Okay.
I won't go into any more, but what do you want to do next, man? What do you want to do next?
Well, let's go to Artist of the Year.
Okay, Artist of the Year. All right. Artist of the Year. Well, we didn't do
Okay.
We didn't do so many nominees. We just wanted to get right into who we thought was the artist of the year.
Artist of the year. You know, we're just going to tell you.
Okay, one second. Let me. I got it.
One dude stood out for Cipher Crew as Artist of the Year. We're going to tell you why in a minute.
And by the way, Jay-Z and Kanye West couldn't be here, so we're going to accept their Cipher Award on their behalf.
Exactly. They usually would come here to pick up the Cipher. You wouldn't want to come for
exactly. We are the Cipher Crew anyway. The Artist of the Year is the one, the only, Static Selector.
Hell yeah, Static Selector. Let me tell you why the Cipher Crew thought that Static Selector was the Artist of the Year.
Okay.
Let me read this out to you.
Go for it.
What do all these albums have in common? The Static Free EP with Freeway.
Okay.
Lord Giveth, Lord Taketh Away by Freddie Gibbs and Static Selector. Population Control, Static Selector solo album. Well Done by Action Bronson and Static Selector. Lyrical Workout by Bumpy Knuckles and Static Selector.
Bumpy Knuckles.
Yeah, Freddie Voss, Freddie FOXXX, whatever.
Yes.
Slain and Static Selector, State of Grace. All these were produced by Static Selector, and you know we love his production. It's off the hook, remarkably consistent. I mean, you get something laced, you know, by Static Selector, you killing it right about now.
Yes, sir.
You know, Action Bronson album was off the hook. The Freeway album, off the hook. The Freddie Gibbs album, off the hook. Bumpy Knuckles album, off the hook. His own album, Population Control, off the hook.
Off the hook.
I mean, on and on. So this is all done all last year, so he puts in a lot of work.
Yes, sir.
So he puts in a lot of work. So yeah, he was definitely our Artist of the Year for sure.
Static Selector, everybody.
Static Selector.
Congratulations. Static Selector couldn't be here tonight, so we're going to accept the Cipher Award as Cyphy on his behalf.
Yep.
Static Selector, good looking out, bro. So what do you want to do next, man?
Next, okay, well let's go to our track of the year.
Okay, track of the year.
Yeah.
The nominees for track of the year are Versus, Self-Scientific.
Okay.
Oh, and Lord's Language, also by Self-Scientific.
Oh, actually, God's Language.
Oh, God's Language. What did I say?
You said Lord's Language.
Oh, I'm sorry, God.
I mean, I know I believe in the Holy Trinity too.
Okay,
but I'm just saying.
Okay, it's God's language. My bad. I'm messing up.
At any rate, here's the thing. The reason why we actually love this album, the album being Trials of the Black Heart, and it was an EP, and that's why actually the EP is not going to be included on our list for independent album of the year that we're going to read off in a little bit here. But we love that EP.
Yes.
The first two songs in there were off the hook, and so we both thought that both of those songs were worthy of being nominated for track of the year. You know, Versus. That was you loved that joint.
He ripped it.
He ripped it. God's Language. I love it because you know the production was off the hook. So God's Language, Versus, Self-Scientific, 1 and 2.
The next nominee for track of the year,
DJ Khalil produced, by the way.
Rex, This or That.
Well, you know what can you say? Rex, he shoots the gift.
Rex,
you know the hook is crazy. The beat is nuts. I love Rex flow. You know he's definitely got a quintessential New York type of flow. Straight up, you know what I mean? So for sure. Next up,
Sky Zoo. The Definitive Prayer.
Okay, here's the thing about that track. Love that album. Love that song. The thing that's unique about that song, well, first of all, Sky Zoo rips it, but it's actually a jazz song by David Axelrod that isn't even sampled or anything. It's just the entire song that he's rapping over, and it gives it just works so well. I thought that was worthy of being nominated for track of the year for sure. The Definitive Prayer is.
See, you had a problem with it too.
Because of you. You started it.
That's really what's called. It's called the Definitive. You know what I'm trying to say.
You know what I'm trying to say.
Yes.
All right.
Anyway, track of the year. At the end of the day.
All right.
We gotta look on our card here. The winner is.
It's the winner.
Rex, This or That.
Yeah.
Boom. Wee.
Track is hot. It's blazing. I mean, put the thing in there. This was actually that whole album was off the hook.
Yes.
And you know, production was tight. You know, Rex. I mean, you know what I love about Rex?
What do you love about Rex?
Rex rides the beat, man.
Oh my God.
His cadence is sick.
I said sick. Yeah. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Stop with the inside jokes.
I'm sorry.
kid.
Okay.
You
I'm
know?
sorry. I'm sorry.
Go.
I said sick.
Listen,
Anyway.
yeah, Rex off the hook, man.
Yeah.
Definitely track of the year. I think we bumped this like the entire year. So
Oh
we
my
definitely
goodness.
going to give it. That's Cipher Cruise track of the year, This or That by Rex.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let's move on to, last but not least.
Last but not least, and the most important.
What's the most important? You call it.
The album of the year on an independent label, sir.
Independent label.
Yes.
Okay.
You want to hear the nominees?
Please do.
Okay. First nominee is Action Bronson and Static Selecta. Well done.
Well done. I mean, we just reviewed that. You know, again, here's a an overweight, no, not to get racial, white guy who looks like kind of like a farmer type guy who's a chef.
Yes.
That sounds like early Ghostface. And that dude can absolutely rip mics. That's for a living.
Yes.
He cuts meat and rips mics.
Nice. Well done. Well done.
Well done. The name of the album.
Well done to you too,
Pun
sir.
intended.
Yes.
Listen, he kills it. Even on his own album without Static Selecta. Oh my God! So I hate putting myself out there.
Bon appetit.
No, not Bon. You keep saying Bon. It's not Bon Appetit. Action Bronson, Dr. Lecter. Dr. Lecter. That's the album, Off the Hook. But what is Bon Appetit? That must be a mixtape or something.
I think it is, but I mean, when I looked up, you know,
that Bon Appetit. Oh, let's keep moving.
Yeah. Okay. My man, Rex. Rhythmic Eternal King Supreme.
Yeah, which is actually an acronym for his name.
Yes, sir.
Obviously, Rex. Rex is acronym for Rhythmic Eternal King Supreme.
REKS.
Yep. So again, great album. The first track, 25th Hour, which is produced by none other than DJ Premier.
Yes, sir.
I love that joint sets off the whole album. You can listen to it from top to bottom. Production from I think. Is Knife on there? I'm not sure if Knife is on there, but definitely DJ Premier and Static Selecta. They both chime in with production on that album. And Rex it. Every single track on the album. So off the hook.
Yes, sir.
Going forward.
Now the next one was a little bit weird for me, and now I went into it like already mad.
Already mad, cause I told you the way I told you. I call this dude up one day. I said, man, I just heard a great album. I said, what if I told you that some dude remade Illmatic? Outside, and he was like, okay, well, whatever, he hears the album, and I hope I'm not overstating if I were to tell you that you were blown away by it.
Yes,
which most people were.
And that is none other than Elzai.
Elzai with music by Will Sessions.
And then he had the nerve to name the album after himself, Elmatic.
Elmatic, yeah, you bet, yeah, you calling your shot. You pointing to the stand, saying I'm about to knock your
exactly,
to the stand.
Exactly, that's what you are doing, and he did just that. He wrecked it. Yes, on the reel.
Yes, sir.
Next one, your man Sky Zoo.
Sky Zoo, the great debater.
The great debater.
And just so you know, some of these are CDs/mixtapes. Some of these are technically mixtapes. But we included it in there. That's why we got Tim nominees, because some of these mixtapes are actually better than actual full-on albums that we put out too. So that's
what's dope is dope.
Yeah, what's dope is dope.
Pretty much.
Now, the great debater. Again, dope. Lyrically, off the hook. Sky Zoo is just a rock solid MC, isn't
yes, he is.
I mean, that dude, the definitive prayer. My favorite song, Coulda Struck the Lotto, on that album was off the hook, too, even though we had the definitive prayer as being the nominated for track of the year.
Yes, sir.
I thought Coulda Struck the Lotto is, one of my favorites on the album, too.
All right. Next nominee, the Ninth Wonder.
Wonder Years, man.
Sorry, Wonder Years.
And I, that's Ninth. I think the previous year he was kind of he did like the previous year pretty much what Static Selecta did for this year. Put out a lot of product, with him and his crew, and he keeps on with his own solo album that I thought was really, really well done. Pretty consistent, It's a shame that Little Brother isn't back together.
Yeah, that joint at least was crazy.
Yeah, they're at least Fontaine and Little Brother, Fontaine and Knife Wonder, they're working together. But going forward, speaking of that, who else?
Oh, Camber and Kevin Brown.
Oh, I thought. Well,
I'm sorry.
I think not. Before we go to Camber and Kev Brown, well, they're nominated too. Camber and Kev Brown.
But there was another nominee that you wanted to go over.
Yeah, exactly. Fontaine,
okay, I'm sorry. Fontaine. Charity Starts at Home.
Off the hook. Production by Knife Wonder and others. So they're working together. Fontaine put together an album that he sings on in addition, because Fontaine likes to get to sing on a little bit. You know what I mean? So that was also pretty good too. That definitely made our album of the year.
Okay, now so I'll talk briefly about Camber and Kev Brown.
And I love Kev Brown. Yeah, Alexander Green. I love Kev Brown's production. I love the way he rhymes either. So I thought that was a pretty good. every track for me was banging on that album, man. And anything that Kev Brown pretty does, I'm on it. That's my thing with Kev Brown. I love the way this dude rhymes. He's one of the better rhyming producers out there.
Okay. Next one, Black Milk and Danny Brown. Black and Brown.
Black and Brown. Love that track. Love it. In fact, I'm going to tell you.
Okay.
I like Black and Brown from Black Milk and Danny Brown better than I did, dare I say it,
Album
of the Year.
Oh!
I like that. I know he doesn't agree with me. Album of the Year, I thought, came up a little bit short of you know what I mean?
Okay.
I thought that the Black and Brown with him and Danny Brown, I thought Danny Brown rips a lot of those Black Milk beats, man.
Okay.
They're off the hook to me. So.
Oh, it wasn't off the album was off the hook. I just think the Album of the Year, album of the Year was, I don't know, that blew me away. Not so much it was supposed to be the Album of the Year, but it was supposed to be an album about, he talks about whatever happened in that past year, just so everybody knows he's not saying, I got the Album of the Year, you know, just so you know. Okay. Next one. Pharoah Monch.
Pharoah Monch.
Man, bop, 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 war. We are renegades.
Yeah, we are renegades. Pharoah Monch coming in. Solid product again.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? Let my people go. Yeah, he kills it, man. So, you know, who can flip, who has breath control like Pharoah Monch?
Yeah,
not a whole lot of people, man.
Yeah, isn't he he has emphysema too, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. I guess he spoke about that. I was listening to the...
Or he has asthma?
Yeah, and he whatever he has, he works it to his advantage because this dude's been ripping Mike for the last, 20 years? Really?
Yeah, his breath control crazy.
Is absolutely off the hook. So, you know, I thought he had one of the better releases for last year, too.
Okay. Now, this one was a little bit weird for me, but DTMD.
Okay, this is why I was
making dollars.
Okay, you know, and we appreciate getting emails from you guys. We got an email from a guy named the Doomster.
Doomster on YouTube. Excuse me, on YouTube he's a Doomster. So what's up, Doomster?
And he kind of put me. He told me about this group called DTMD that was on the Mellow Music Group, I believe, and he wanted me to check it out, you know, because he's seen that we really didn't go ahead and review anything or anything like that. So I did have the album, I just hadn't given it really a solid listen. And once he hit me to it, I started listening to it for the past few weeks. I'm like, you know what, the Doomster he's right. I thought that this was one of the better releases, period.
Yes.
From the last year. DTMD. Take on EPMD's album,
which I also love.
Called Making Dollars.
Making Dollars.
Production, absolutely solid. Love the production. As a matter of fact, now this isn't going to win our album of the year. I'm going to tell you right now. But for me, what's going to win this category, had it not been for that album, I would have pushed hard for this being independent release of the year. Real talk. I pushed hard for it.
Yeah, it was very, very, very solid. Very, very hip hop. Very, very just
young dudes too. I love when the young dudes give homage to what real hip hop is. You don't get that a lot. I love it.
Using all the fundamentals of hip hop.
Fundamentals, form tackling, head up, hitting the chest, form.
Anyway, those are our nominees, and there were a hell of a lot of nominees for the album of the year. I'm gonna try to get this one's that one's empty. But anyway, the winner.
What is it?
And our winner of the independent album, the greatest album of last year, son.
Yep.
Elmatic.
Elmatic for real. Elmatic off the hook. Man, listen, Will Sessions, a live band playing Nas's Illmatic. Listen, Elzai, new lyrics too. Killing it, top to bottom.
Yes, sir.
Elzai, one of the most underrated MCs out there. Love this album. I challenge anybody to tell me any different. We absolutely thought this album was off the chain, man. Elmatic, I'm still listening to it to this day. It's a great album to listen to when you're in the gym, when you're riding. All of that, it's just lyrically off the hook. Lyrically off the hook. Musically, great listen, man. These guys put it down.
Because you said it looked like you want to knock the shit out of yourself. Be like, it's good.
It's good.
It's good. It's a good album.
Give me a Slim Jim.
But anyway, that's going to be it for now from us, from the Cipher Crew. These are the Cipher Awards. If you don't like what we picked, let us know. Hit us up on our Gmail account.
We get this. We got it last year. So tell us what we missed out on. We'll speak on it. Maybe we'll do a show, greatest misses, or who do we miss from 2011? Who knows? We'll speak on it though.
Yes, sir. And you can also hit us up on our Gmail account. We are the Cipher Crew, but you can hit us up on Gmail at kidandmuff44 at gmail.com. You can also hit us up on Twitter. We are kidandmuff44 at Twitter. We're also on Facebook.
Yes.
We're on Facebook. We are the Cipher Crew. And don't forget to check out our single with me and Muff. We got together, we put a little single out. All right.
He's the rapper, I'm the producer.
And he's the producer. and you know, and so far people haven't said we suck.
Yeah.
So I'm a little bit happy about that.
That's our track. You hear it whenever we go off or we come on in the Cipher Crew. That's our track. So let us know what y'all think.
Yeah, but go on clbTV, look it up, and give us a shout. Let us know how you feel about it. Hit us up on our Gmail or our Twitter, or just friend us on Facebook. All right, and hit that like thingy. Hit that like thingy. All right. So for me, my man Muff, unless you have anything else to say.
No, man.
From the 2012.
Looking forward
Cipher
to
Awards.
music,
We've been
man.
doing this for 2 years, son. It's crazy.
Yeah, coming up on our 100th show pretty soon too.
Yes. Well, we got to do something special for that 100th show.
Oh yeah, we gotta bring it.
But then we'll bring out the dancing girls and wild.
You know, ready to go up there with a shag and stuff. With that clay figurehead and that lady in the hello video.
Hello. This is how I see.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're gonna see you next time, and stay tuned. Check us out. Check out everything else here on clbTV. And peace from the Cipher Crew, and why? Because the Cipher Crew said so, son. Peace.
Every time I write a rhyme, I feel like Megatron going against Optimus Prime for the very last time. Once you'll fall, let me know you're not appalled. Put your hands up in the air, say yes, sure. We're all gathered to witness the babbling.